We got a few entries. We've got 4 people competing today, all of them with guide runners. I think it's amazing people competing today, all of them with guide runners. I think it's amazing that we're getting so many people to race on the track, which is something that Believe this afternoon.
Brilliant. And just talk about this event as a whole, because we are here at Oxford, you know, it's known for, well, the
running and got people running fast times and chasing that 4-minute barrier on this historic track once again.
Well, this is it. We've got a plaque behind us with, you know, banisters. We've had Sebco come down and, you know, not open up this track, but present for many events down here over the years as well. So, rich in history here at Oxford, Iffley Road. And Baz, look, we've got a few coming through the line. This is going to be 800 for these competing at the moment. 800 metres done as they go under the Sports Shoes banner, which we have to obviously shout out. Good sponsors here, help out with the event. But
I don't think there's I'm not sure he wanted to aim to allow as many visually impaired athletes to take part without the barriers of going for a specific time or classification on the track as much. And number 160, Hillary, is an amazing athlete.
Perhaps pretty experienced, got a guide, and do you know how long these guides will it be a career for the guide just as much as the athlete?
I'm not too sure. I think a lot of these guides are often friends of the runners much before, and now they're kind of going out and running multiple times a week and doing 5Ks and coming down today and racing over a mile on this track.
Leader, if you like, or head of sports fed here at the university, and she's stepped in as a guide. Someone's guide couldn't make it today, and she stepped in and she's helping an athlete round today as well.
Yeah, it's true. We've got Amy on the back straight, pace opportunities available for runners to become guide runners, and the impact that you can have. Fairly simple procedure. You can book it with English guide runner, and at that point you can go on any run and race with these athletes. So yeah, it's something worth looking into, and we've shared some information on our social media channels for those who are interested.
We're looking next year. We definitely,
absolutely, yeah. I think this, and we can combine this. Hopefully, we can people run
the line, and I had about 7:12, 7:15 on the clock, Baz. So great run. His guide says thank you very much. It's a team effort as much, you know, just like running's an individual sport. For these gentlemen, it's only going to break 10. And a couple athletes. Here we got Simon Watson and is that Naki?
I think it's Will.
Will Motrid as well. We can watch later on in the evening.
Yeah, so we've got 12 races today, getting progressively faster throughout the day. All of them are going to be experienced pacemakers from within Oxford's running.
We certainly do. I mean, they're going to be one in everything, and won the varsity match as well. Got ever so close to that varsity record just a few weeks ago as well.
Yeah, it's a bit breezy today, but we've all heard the famous story in 1954 when Bannister came down to the track, and as we know, history was made after that. So I'm hopeful that this wind's going to drop later on and we can see some more history being made at Iffley Road.
Yes, and I think a little different to when Bannister broke.
Weatherseed, a host of big names who are all chasing that barrier, but also hoping to join Callum Elson on the list of...
No banter, please. No banter, please.
Paced by Ella Fryer, 2:08.800. Alex Shipley's my favourite for that. She's one of the Oxford students in that race. Hoping to she's already the quickest miler that Oxford.
What a run, and Will there alongside him as well. They're going to have a good catch up, probably compare times, and yeah, like we said before, not often these visually impaired get to run, but as well. So first race is going to be on the track. They're stepping to the track now. Sports Shoes sponsoring this event, but it's been a student-led event. I'm joined along.
Revive this event. It's something it's happened on and off throughout history. Obviously, we've got an absolutely rapid track record on the men's and the women's side, which was set in 2004 on the 50th anniversary, where we'd be lucky if we see them go today. We've got £100 prize money on the line if anyone does manage to get that track record.
Well, we look forward to that, but Triple C captain next year is going to get things going, and he is due to race later on as well. For these women.
Guys and girls within the Oxford University Cross Country Club who kindly give their time to pace these races. Jared's a super talented athlete who I think we're going to see him in race 10 later, but yeah, he's going to try and take this race through 800 in about 2 minutes.
I'm looking at a few names. I mean, Molly Skill, OU Triple C athlete herself. She's a terrific runner, and I do fully expect her to be at the front of this one. She's wearing 167. She's on the inside. Looks like she's going to slot in right behind Jared Martin, OU.
What a day for it as well. 20 degrees, bright sunshine. We've managed to get some food and drink vendors in on the back straight. So we're selling Pims, we're selling beer. We've got Greek food. So it's a proper fan spectacle today if you want to come down and
Someone I identified before the race. I mean, I get to watch her week in, week out train, of course, but she's in very, very good shape, and she's going to target, she's going to look to go through in about 5 minutes of 1500. Obviously, we've got that 1500 split here today, Barrett, as well. She's no UCCC member, but Jared doing his job, Barrett. I mean, as a pacer, you're stuck in between a rock and a hard place right now.
Disciplined pacemaking from Jared. I'm impressed that he's let athletes go ahead. He's stuck to his job of 3:15. We had Tom Wood last year, famously in one of our races, who got in a bit of a competition with one of the athletes, and pacemaking from Jared. He's helping out most of the people, and like you said, Molly's a brilliant athlete looking to run a PB with Scarlett just behind her.
Well, they're both firing bang on through in 80 seconds, so terrific running from these young ladies. Of course, the first lap that we know and love here at Oxford University as well. She's a great athlete, but also just a great supporter of the club. Always brings the atmosphere, and always kind of the mother of. She won't mind me saying that, because she certainly refers to herself as that as well, Barrett.
Yeah, she's a big part of the club socially and in terms of training, and it's great to see her racing today. Let's hope Jared can guide her around to her personal.
She's sitting right in behind, well, just 3 or so back from Jared. But look at these two up front there, Molly and Scarlett. Scarlett doing very well, just biding her time behind Molly. So I wonder if they can work together, especially over the third lap. We know how crucial that is, Tom.
A PB out of this that they can compare to some of their other races this season.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later in the programme. But of course, when you look at the elite women and just, women in general, they don't quite have the same history attached to the mile. Courage to come down and race a mile. So offering that 1500 split is just, key, really.
Yeah, it's super important. You're totally right. There's less history to rely on in terms of trying to assemble the women's field, and we're really proud of the quality of the elite women's field that we've got going at 5:15 tonight.
Well, it is OUCCC 1, 2 and 3 at the moment there. Molly, Scarlett and Esther Jones. She's moved. Absolutely flown by. We've got a great crowd forming on the home straight, so do look out for that. And if you're local, if you're sitting at home right now and you are based in the Oxfordshire area, get yourself got food. We've got drink, plenty of drink. Tom, being a student-led event, we do have. Surging away from Scarlett. It's going to be an interesting last 150, Tom.
It is. I'm really excited to see who comes out on top of this. It looks like Molly's going to take it, I think.
Yeah, she's just pulling clear now. She is perhaps the stronger of the two, but don't count Scarlett out. She's been training very well, back from a few injuries through the winter as well. Molly's got a half marathon, Reading half marathon. Apologise. So we are 4:10. So we've still got a lap or so to go, and it's going to be tough. We're going to be 80. Oh, so it's going to be tricky for them to break 5 minutes. I think this might be down to the wind at the moment. It is a little
over 6 minutes per mile. So the fact that we're talking about the 5 minute barrier already is brilliant. I think we've had a big jump up in standard from last year's event. It's great to see the cross-country girls.
Two up at the front. Esther Jones has just gone through alongside me. She's on course for breaking that 6:30 mile as well, so she'll be delighted with that. Looking very strong. She's all on her own. And a few names we perhaps haven't mentioned, but as we got Matt Long in here in about 5 minutes, so he's going to be awfully close to that 6:30 mile, which it was on pace for. We kept an eye on that 1500 split. I think she was just outside 5 minutes. If you do want to know where the 1500 split, that white post just at the crown, inside 6:30, it looks likely, and drifting out into lane 2 as well.
Oh, wow. Victory lap down the home straight.
Crowd who are, making their way onto the home straight. We're definitely going to see a bit of lane 3 beer and cheer later on this afternoon. Esther Jones, what a run, 6:12. She should be very, very happy with that. Congratulating each other as well. So
number 86.
Wow, for your gang, what a finish. Going to see people obviously, negotiating dropouts and whatnot. So well done to that. Good start to the Iffley Festival of Miles. Race 2 pretty much on the track. The action comes thick and fast here as well. So we will go through the lineup in just a moment. But anytime you need to leave, crap, mate. Oh. Terrific. Do you want to swap seats? You just won up. So we have Heat 2 is due off in just a few minutes' time, about 20 past 3. So pretty much now, the officials just making sure everyone's in the race and no one's going to miss the start. But we got Chris Deeney, Ailey Roberts, Anna Ramos Villaverde, Cecilia Hupel, Stuart Thorpe, Clarice Patel, Alan Jones, Daniel Lewis, Pedro Quintin Grassa, Eleanor Hall, OUCCC athlete herself as well, so inspired by her teammates, no doubt. Emma Heppel as well, Andrew Dobinson, Daya Deb, and Christine Anthony. So a whole range of, well, not only abilities, ages, gender.
Yeah, and they're going to be paced around by Tom Wood from the Cross Country Club. He's a 14:25k runner in his own right, so hopefully he can take them here. They're looking for about a 5:55 mile, but I think there's a few people in this field are going to be hoping to run a bit quicker than that.
Well, can the... We ask ourselves, looking at this field, I think you're absolutely right, but can they make the most of Tom Wood, especially through the first 2 laps? It is a breezy old day here at the moment. Quite a stiff old breeze. As you know the area, know Iffley Road well, and know there is always a back straight wind. Even though we have a beautiful electronic timing here today as well. So this is, I guess this is 2023. This is the era of Strava. So, you know, if it's not on there, it doesn't count, is it?
Yeah, we want to make this event as good for the athletes as possible, so we've got a nice big clock for them at the finish line so they know exactly what they're running through each lap. And pacemakers in every race. Tom Wood's looking like he's taking this through about 23 seconds through the first 100 metres.
Absolutely, and we're going to look, you know, 6-minute miling is, you know, just a clip inside 90 seconds. In, you know, 88, 89 seconds, that's bang on for that 5:55. It's Ellie Hall slotting in behind him. Daya's in there, Ellie Roberts as well. So again, OUCCC leading the way. Can we get another 1, 2, 3 in race 2? That'd be a nice...
It's what we love to see. You've got to be winning the races at your own event. It's the home track, and a lot of these people have been targeting Iffley Festival of Miles for the last few weeks, so should be PBs in the 1500 and in the mile for some of these runners.
Well, absolutely. So just coming off the top end now, down the home straight, you can see so we're getting a little bit busier and busier as the afternoon goes on here. Of course, we had the BMC PB Classic as well, just a little bit earlier on in the afternoon. We standards achieved as well in the 3000. So look at this then. Tom Wood leading the way to his teammates. They all know each other very well, and there's 3 of them bunching up, enjoying this. And look, bang on. You know, they are on for 6-minute miling at the moment. The 400, and they're looking comfortable.
It's an expert job from Tom Wood. He's got a lot of races today. I think he's pacing 4 or 5, which shouldn't be too much of a challenge for a runner of his caliber, but we just got to hope he can stay disciplined like Jared did in that of the event.
Yeah, he knows his pace to it. He's done a lot of laps of this track. He's done a lot of running in his time. And Barrett, you may know this better than me. He's actually got a run streak. What's he on? Day number 1,000 in...
Yeah, 1,200 or something. He's run every day since New Year of, gosh, 2021, I think. Yeah, he's nuts, Tom Wood. And he's actually been passed on the back straight by a couple of athletes, so he's staying on the pace. It's good to see.
Hey, look, he has indeed. Ellie Hall and Dave sitting in behind him. So yes, 3 Oxford students leading the way. It's a nice pack. They train together often. They often run to really compete against each other and see who comes out on top.
Yeah, you get a good guiding training of where you're at compared to everyone else, but you never know what's going to come out on race day. So I think there's going to be a lot of rivalries today. I know in race 11, or is it race 12, towards the end of the day, we've got Joe Morrow and Matt Fuller from OUCCC competition between those guys about who can run the mile quicker.
Well, here we are then, 2:57. This is bang on pace, so we're going to be hopefully inside 6-minute miling if they can keep this going. Daya's looking to push on now. She's looking good. She's got a bit of speed in her legs though, over the last few months as well. Twood, he's stuck in a bit of a difficult position at the moment. He's not really pacing anyone, so he either needs to speed up, help out the girls at the front, or slow down a little bit. But you know, it's the Radley athlete, in fact, Ana Ramos Villaverde, is leading the chase pack, which is a pack at the moment. So great seeding, great depth on that pack, just hunting down those top 3.
What do you do if you're Tom Wood here? Do you push on and try and help out the girls at the front, or settle back and help the pack behind? He's, like you say, he's stuck in no man's land here a little bit.
Well, I probably was a little bit harsh, because I think one thing he is offering is a guide. You know, they know he's going to be running at 6-minute mile pace, so those behind, if they key off of that, they probably know they're just outside 6 minutes at the moment. So he's actually stepped off the track. His job is done, and oof, we've got an interesting race up here. I mean, Barrett, who are you banking on, you know, coming into this last lap? Daya's done a lot of the work on that third lap, and she had to push on. She gapped them, but now Ellie Roberts and Ellie have kind of closed up as she kind of drifts out into lane 1 to, I wouldn't say make way for her teammate, but you know, to encourage the teammate to kind of hang on in.
This is spot on 5:55.
When you had an email from Thomas before the meeting about what kind of shoes you're allowed to wear in track races, did you get that? Did you read that? I don't know what you're wearing. But,
That's really good.
what kind of shoes have you got? What brand are they? Right. No. So they I'm not going to make a big deal of it. There is. We're all set to link. We're all set to link the list on the world.
So another excellent race there. We move on now to the third heat. In this race we have 16 entrants. In number 227, Sarah Davies. Number 194, Helen Knight. 226 is Zoe Schwerkolt. 105, Murray Jessen. 224, Sam Day. 91, Lara Hartley. 220, Alice Epps. 203, Daniel Egerton. 188, Dan Weimer. 154, David Renshaw, paced by his son Tom. 151, James Quinn. 72, Sebastian Drew. 204, Kenny Lowies. 67, Nick Dewey. 166, Antara Singh. And 202, Thomas Egerton. This race is paced by Thomas Renshaw.
Dog called Albany, which they take on a lot of runs. I think it's probably one of the fittest dogs in the UK. Every time Renshaw goes home, it's out on long.
Going to go through in, well, it's looking at a finish time of 5:45, so, lapping in, what would that be, about 85s or so, just over. So, yeah, I'm sure Dave Renshaw Senior can trust his son to come up with the goods, and I wonder if he's going to stick it around, beyond the K and get it. So well, we got a few in here, but let's just go through the lineup. Sarah Davies, Helen Knight, Zoe Schwerkolt, Marie Jessen, Sam Day, Clara Hartley, OCCC just an under 20 she is, Alice Epps, Dan Egerton, Dan Weimer, Dave Renshaw, who we've mentioned, he's had a lot of good airtime already, James Quinn, Sebastian Drew, Kenny Lowe, Nick Dewey, and Tara Singh, Tom Egerton as well, Simon Leach and Andy Robinson to complete the lineup. Thames Hare and Hounds, Andy Robinson. So your Thames Hounds, you've probably come through Oxford University or Cambridge University, haven't you, Barrett?
Yeah, they've got a big Oxbridge contingent in that club, and it's great. They're a bit of a sort of parent club to us. A lot of our athletes go on to join Thames afterwards. This is an absolute packed race. We've got 18 athletes competing here, I think.
Great to see, and I think that is Clara Hartley, who has just gone off way ahead of Renshaw, and she really wants to get after it today. She's probably looked at 5:45. Can she break 5:40? Also, can she run a 1500 personal best here? So she's got a healthy gap on, moving, I always encourage people to race as much as they can, so she's going to make life hard for her, is Clara, but yeah, well inside 80 through that first lap. Seb's giving chase, I know you Triple C man as well, so sticking to his task, and they're all just, look, they just want to get way ahead of Renshaw. Is Renshaw waiting for his dad, or what?
It's looking like it. There might be some Renshaw competition here. He's closing in on him, actually. Renshaw's pacing this fairly well, I think. Seb's looking good in second place.
Absolutely. So this race a little more strung out than previous races. So I expect it's going to change over the last, over the latter stages, of course. But Clara doing a terrific job. She's going to move.
So it's Clara Hartley at the front at the moment with a strong lead from, it looks like, Sebastian Drew.
providing that today for people to try and chase after their PBs. But like you say, you've got to have a lot of faith in the pacemaker that they know what they're doing. And Jared's somebody who I'd put all my faith in. Frankly, I think he's going to hit those splits consistently. You can guarantee it.
Well, he is, and I think he's just worked his way to the front. Eventually, so through the 200, well, bang on really, 39.40, so a little bit quick to start, but I'm sure they'll settle down. And this is where Jared's just stringing things along now. Juha slotted in right behind. You all know Jared well from training nights, sitting down here on a Wednesday night, club night together. That's going to be his new captain next year. That's all.
He is. It's a big forming up on the home straight coming up to the end of the first lap.
And this is credit to the seeding. So a complete contrast to that last race, but 79.80. The man is bang on, is Jared Martin. They're queuing up, and you know what? At this point, they just have to trust him. They have to ease off because, yes, 400 meters into a mile race, into a 1500, you're feeling quite good. But I tell you what, in a lap or so's time, you're beginning the question.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a proper race. This. We've got nearly 20 athletes bunched up around Jared. I hope there's no trips. It's reminded me of the 2016 1500 Olympic finals.
Well, will we see a sprint finish similar to that of Matt Centrowitz? Will Juha demonstrate some tactical masterclass? But here we are, great angles here, and Juha straight in behind. We've got to identify that Headington run. I believe it's Andrew Tyler, the Headington man. So local lad, would have done a lot of his running in these parts as well. He's enjoyed, the roots of Oxford, Barrett.
Yeah, remarkably flat city, not quite as extreme as our Cambridge counterparts. I know Jeremy Dempsey's not particularly used to running on the hill, so this will...
They know what a hill is down there.
Don't think they do. It'll be a nice flat course for Jeremy today, and hopefully he can attack that 4-minute barrier like he's been meaning to for a few years now.
Absolutely. We have to give them some credit. They did win the varsity cross-country match, which is a very hilly Wimbledon, common and a very hilly shot over, actually. So, perhaps you don't need to train on hills to win over a cross-country. But Jared just squeezing things a little bit. 240. He's bang on. Juha needs to go with him. Now he needs to bridge that gap and really break that elastic band to the group behind, who are still a pack. And, it's going to be tough for him over the last lap to really stay out in front.
Yeah, you said it before. The third lap's the one that counts, really. And I think as I'm racing later, I'm feeling this. The mile is an overwhelming distance compared to the 15. It feels a lot longer.
Well, he's going to enjoy the fact that Jared's out in front, stretching, pulling the field along, pulling him along. So Juha, can he ask Jared to get around another 200 or even another lap or so? Can Jared go beyond the K? But Jared moves wide, does what he's ordered to, and it's all down to Juha now. 184, looking good. The Oxford man. University student, he's look at this, great scenes behind, and Anuska on the inside as well, battling it out. So we've got some great competition a little bit further down the field as well. Yeah, and there's Naki just going through 156 visually impaired man, so he's doing a great job. He's actually not a million miles away, so I'm going to be interested to see what his time. Obviously, that visually impaired race won in just a clip inside 8 minutes with it. So, he should be on course for something well inside that. So he's moving very, very well. But here we go then, lap to go. You are 4:03 on the clock. Can he better the winning time from the previous race was Sam Day in 5:25, 5:24. So can Juha break that? He's going to need an 80-second last lap to do it. Jared, who paced, is cheering him on trackside, and it's two OUCCC athletes. Anuska moving very well. Alongside her is Catherine Westhead as well. So those two reeling in the field, Tom.
Here's Naki coming through with a lap to go. This is a brilliant run. Like you said, he's going to be way under the time from the visually impaired race at the start of the day. Unfortunately, train strikes delayed Naki's arrival, but to be honest, this is potentially a better race for him. Really, the pace is a bit quicker in this one, and he seems to be faring really well. It should be an impressive time.
Here we go in last 200. I'm just looking now, and in Weston have got a huge kick between them. Catherine just hanging on to her teammate, following her through. We got a dust up for the minor places, for the podium spots, if you like. You are out in front at the moment. He's going to need to hold it together, to be honest with you, because Anuska is coming very, very quick, closely followed by Catherine. It's an OUCCC 1, 2, 3 again. I promise you, we haven't rigged the races.
Yeah, we've put a lot of talented athletes in these early ones. Hopefully we can clean up some of the wins, but what race this is. Brilliant time.
It's come through for second. Anuska, a surge down the back straight, but maybe paid the price a little bit on the home straight. So OUCCC 1, 2, and 4. Great run. Lucy Hillary, 96 from Western Temple. That's a terrific performance. She's inside 5:30. I make that, which is huge.
I think Naki's going to be close to the 6-minute barrier here. Wow.
He's going to smash it, Baz. He's got to come down. He's got 10 seconds. He's under the Sport Shoes banner. Come on, Naki. He's going to do it. Oh, stop it. Well, you don't have to have everything going.
Preparation. I think I'm going to have to put the mic down and go and prepare for race number 11. I'm going in about an hour, so I'm going to go and think about getting my warm-up in, Matt.
Yes, Tom. I will excuse you. Good luck, man.
Thank you
You know
very
what you're
much.
doing.
Yep.
Good. Now, just over to me then, a solo edition on the mic for the rest of Iffley Festival of Mars. And that was Tom Barrett, OUCCC legend, if you like. Huge figure here at the university. Was a huge figure in actually organising this event. You know, organisation. Meet knows a lot. Niska is coming very, very quick, closely followed by Catherine. It's an OUCCC 1, 2, 3 again. I promise you, we haven't rigged the races.
Yeah, we've put a lot of talented athletes in these early.
2024, not only is it an Olympic year, it's also the 70th anniversary of the sub 4-minute mile, 3:59.4. Roger Bannister on this very track. So next year it will be held slightly earlier. They want to see if they can replicate a terrific race, and hey, perhaps we're going to have some elites who can even give the 350 barrier a crack next year. Race 5 of 12 now on the track. We've got 12 open races if you're just joining us here at the Iffley Festival Miles, and then of course 2 elite races, 1 men and 1 female race. At the start list, we've got Will Worthy in here, Tom Moonen, Oliver Elliott-Williams, Simon Sutil, Rebecca Frakes in here as well. Lucy Thompson, fresh off, I say fresh off, a few weeks ago now, the London Marathon, where she ran absolutely finding her track legs over the past few months as well. Barry Gardner, Tom Bell's in here. Oxford University triathlete Alana Chandler represented Oxford at the varsity match as well. Actually, he's the last athlete on the outside, number 157. So Dan Bundy, nicknamed Bundy, is going to pace this one, and he's going to. We're looking for a time of round about for this race. 9 per lap. The wind just actually picking up, sun setting. Just a little tap on the shoulder from James Hennigan, who we're going to look forward to seeing later. The man of the hour. Race 5 of 12. Bundy's going to go straight to the front. Looks like the Abingdon youngster, 183 Freddie Walker. He's just an under 15, so definitely under 15, so don't get to experience a mile too much. Lots of 800s as well at that age, and in fact that goes for everyone in this field. Not often athletes get to compete on the track over the 1609 distance. Through the high school system and even the NCAA as well. So Bundy can't get to the front at the moment. Alana Chandler leading, well, in 3rd place as well, pushing ahead of him. I think Bundy is being very strict. He knows what pace he's going ahead of the pacemaker when, they really should just be patient. If there's one time you can be patient in a mile race, I do agree it is pedal to the metal, but it is on that first lap, really. I encourage them to just relax a little bit. Not that they can hear me as they come down the home straights. So here we are then. Tom Bell, I've seen him training very well. Triathlete. A mile. And looking very smooth. 79, so they're bang on pace. Bundy will make his way to the front to help these boys and girls out. Lucy Thompson in there, looking very good. We've got a good pack at the moment, a good pack. This is right where you want this field. Time, it can string out on the 3rd lap, but for now, you need company, you need to be sitting in it, you need a little bit of, wind shelter, if you like, on the back straight. Down there you go then, Tom Bell still moving very, very well up front. We've got it's a Brat, Birmingham Running and Triathlon Club in 2nd place as well. So these two might know each other well, 2 triathletes up at the front. Quite popular triathletes. Don't often get to compete on the track. Of course, you see them, at many road races throughout the season, 5Ks, 10Ks, even perhaps a cheeky road mile to kind of get that speed in. But you don't often see them on the track circuit, so feeling it out, I suppose. So great running. Ollie Elliott-Williams leading the way now. Bundy's in there. Will Worthy in second as well. Tom Bell a little bit further back. He's behind the Aberdeen man. Freddie Walker. So a good string of athletes now. Bundy and Will. Teammates, Lucy Thompson's in there. She's going to key off for probably Alana over these next few laps, and a few Oxford rear of the field. So into the business end of this race. 800 done, and now it's all eyes on this third lap before they come down to the Bell lap, of course. And we know how windy that back straight is. Anyone who's had any success here today has kind of waited. They've bided their time on the back straight and decided to make their move on that home straight. So 600 to go for these gentlemen. Ollie Williams doing a terrific job at the moment. His pacing job, I was going to say finding it easy, but I think he's enjoying it. He knows he's got teammates in here, and he's looking out for their best interest. He's going to hang in there for 1200. He's doing a great job. You could just change in this race. Burrows extending. Ollie Williams is going to have to hang on in there. He's going to have to bide his time. We know what that back straight's under 4 minutes, so I expect to see almost the whole field is going to get right near that 5:15, 5:20 mark, that's for sure. Alana and Lucy would need a good close here to crack 5 here as well. But Burrows, this is a phenomenal run. Goodness me, did he tactical masterclass. He's really saved it all for the 4:59. What a run. That's the first sub 5 minute clock into the day. Williams is second, 5:05. That's a huge run for him. Tom Bell as well, 5:13. All coming across the line. Will Worthy, 5:15. Great running. Aberdeen youngster as well. Freddie Walker, he's inside 5:20, which is not bad for an under 15. OU try doing the business on that one. Lucy Thompson just coming through. Alana as well, inside 5:30 for those two. Cracking job out there. So that's top 5 clocking that early on in the afternoon. But goodness, it bodes well for the rest of the day. And you know, I'm saying it's windy sitting here, but you know, maybe the athletes have one thing that may be dropping just a little bit, encouraging these faster times throughout the afternoon. So we'll have a little look to that next race. Is there, you know, as one race clears, another starts. We got Tom Proctor-Legg, Joe Benson, Anthony Lewis, Colin Williams, Phil Baxter, Billy Bannon, Ewan Patton, Beth Murray's in here, Lizzie Apsey is in here as well, Clara Hatanova, Catherine Hill, and Nika is in here as well, Nika Schwartz, Emilio Mulan, under 17 from Abingdon. What Scott as well, Nancy Scott, fresh off a, there you are, start this bottom left of screen, fresh off a pretty smart run at the Watford Open on Wednesday night, 9:53 over 3,000, and yeah, cross-country athlete by trade, terrific runner over the country. You know, often top 20 or so at the national cross-country champs. So that shows the level we're operating here at the Iffley Festival Miles, because we are only race 6, and we've got some you know, caliber in here that can really compete on the very top of the domestic stage nationally. So look out for her. She's well, she may well be wearing her Cambridge colours, actually, the Cambridge student, but she is an AFD athlete, 162. So as these athletes are just waiting to come to the line. If you're just joining us, this is the Iffley Festival of Miles. I'm Matt Sedham, and I was joined by Tom Barrett for a short while, one of the meet directors here, an OU-CCC student. So of course we are in Oxford, one of the most historic tracks in the world. The very first place the world got to witness a sub 4 minute mile, 3:59.4, 69 years ago and change. Roger Bannister took the world by storm, and we saw a little bit of history last night as well. 3:49 from Faith Kipyegon, so 1500 meter world record. Perhaps that's a good omen for today, but I did look at that, and I think a lot of athletes out here today have to take note in that record and the way it was run. You know, 62, 61, 61, 59, and you know, just got quicker and quicker every lap, and we're starting to see it. You know, and I think Jakob Ingebrigtsen was a big man who kind of encouraged that style of running, especially mid-distance. We always used to think, you know, you've got to get up get a bit of time, time in the bank over these short distances, especially the 800, the 1500. But I don't think that's often the case. It's kind of saving your fuel reserve for a little bit later on in the race. So this next race drew off at exactly 4 o'clock. We're running well to time. Just a couple of minutes or so as they line up. You can see just getting some last-minute orders from the officials. And that superb sports shoes banner sponsoring this event, just like they did last year, and just like, well, we hope they will do next year as we approach that 70th anniversary. Everything gearing towards that, really. They got this competition off the mark just a year ago. It was a huge success. It's been another success today, and I think it's very apparent when you watch the races and you see the people down here enjoying themselves. We've got, we've got food, we've got beverages. It really is just what you want. And of course, we've got the weather. So we've got to thank the weather gods today, because not often in the UK do we get blessed with such a nice day. It's hot, it's sunny, but it's not too crazy for a lot of these athletes. They'll enjoy this. This is good miler weather. All right, so just run you through that lineup just again. Tom Proctor-Legg, Joe Benton, Anthony Lewis, Colin Williams, Phil Baxter, Billy Bannon, Ewan Patter, Beth Murray in their Thames Hare and Hounds. So Thames Hare and Hounds, a club which has, works very closely with Oxbridge as a whole, and often athletes who graduate, alumni from Oxford or Cambridge, they do compete for Thames Hare and Hounds, or perhaps just compete for them on a national stage, even if they are a student. So they do a terrific job as a club as well, hosting varsity matches. We've got Helen Greenwood in here as well, and Nancy Scott. I have mentioned she is in her Cambridge colours. She's not in her Cambridge colours, she's confused me. She's in her just a plain blue vest, 162, Nancy Scott on the outside. We have got Helen Greenwood as well, Cambridge University student on the outside of her. So away we go then, race 6 underway. So we're halfway through after this one, the open section of the Iffley Festival of Miles, and of course we've got the 2 elite races to come late in the evening. Stretching out now, Nancy Scott, like I said, fresh off a good 3,000 metre run at Watford Open Graded Meeting on Wednesday, 9:53. She ran out there. She's an incredible cross-country athlete. Someone who will know her very well is Lizzie Apsley, though, and she slotted right in behind her. Terrific athlete herself is Lizzie on the domestic stage. Over the country, over the longer distances, stepping down in distance to the mile, and Anika Schwartz, terrific runner, just outside her personal best on Wednesday night. So a good sharpener, a good primer for this mile here today, which of course she had a little bit more priority on, given the fact it's on her home track. She was helping out, volunteering this morning. She's a huge talent, is Anika. So look forward to seeing what she can do today. But yeah, Jared Martin leading the way on a windy back straight down here at the Iffley Festival of Miles. And I did just miss their 400 split, but I'm sure you saw it. And it's Nat and Jared. We got a nice pack of them. Billy Bannon still in there. Look out for him, the under-17 man. You can't miss him in the white and blue of St Mary's Richmond Athletic Club. It's a very rich club, and of course they use share the same track as St Mary's University, who everyone knows their pedigree over the mid-distance events as a university as a whole, and the athletes they produce out of there. And I think, in fact, it's not St Mary's University Athletic Track, it's the Sermon running on a track with a little bit of history. Billy Bannon, he's out in lane 2 at the moment. And Joe Benton doing a good job on the shoulder of Nancy Scott. Can he kind of slip these athletes running awfully wide? And, I think it was a stat came out, Faith Kipyegon last night. She did break the 1500 world record, but she ran 1502 meters. I think, the tech they have, these paces here today, they've been asked to, can they get the athletes to a K? Jared will drop out of the K. He has got a race later on. He finished the exams last night, in fact. So great pleasure to have him here pacing the day after your final exam. So Billy Bannon He hits the front, he looks to surge things, looks to move things along. Anika Short's giving chase on that. A good kick finish. Lizzie absolutely stuck in no man's land at the moment. Tough going for her on her own. Benton, Scott, or should I say Bannon, Benton and Scott as well, because Nancy Scott, the more experienced of the three, I have no doubt about that. Right 8 on the clock, so we're going to need a big last lap to see a sub 5 from these athletes, but they're capable of doing it. They're capable of running a 72 last lap, that's for sure. We'll also keep an eye on their 1500 split because we're going to see some, hopefully see some PBs. But look at Joe Benton now. He's just the gap on Bannon, the under 17. Nancy Scott's going to give chase down the back straight. Benton, he's got a good close. He's got a good kick finish. He's been training very, very well. He's been preparing for this for, well, a good 4 at least. You know, ever since the kind of road cross-country season wrapped up. Benton looking very good. He's got to open it up now. He's got to enjoy it. He's going to come down. He's going to run alongside friends, fellow students, fellow teammates as he enters the home straight. So I want to keep an eye as well on Joe Benton in the last. He's going to bring the field home, is Ewan. Good running from him. Just got a little detached a little early, did Ewan, but solid run, the Serpentine man. And can he break 6 minutes? That's the question. He should be well inside that. Good, everyone. Great support here at the Iffley Festival of Miles. Okay.
You coming to do this on the 21st as well?
Yes.
After 4.
Oh, just after 4. About 11 to get down. Yeah.
You got to that, okay.
You be here as well, will you? So if you're just joining us, we are 6 races deep here at the Iffley Festival of Miles. So we are halfway through in the previous 2 races. Obviously I expect to see plenty more as the afternoon goes on, but the question we're perhaps asking ourselves is, will we see a sub 4-minute mile here today? We haven't seen it for what, 19 years. Craig Mottram back in 2004, 356.6 he ran that day. And so it shows you the kind of challenge. We know we see them, you know, they're quite common. We see a lot of 4-minute miles, you know, sub 4-minute miles indoors and stuff. It's one thing doing it indoors, it's another thing doing it outdoors here at a breezy Iffley Road, if you like. But look, race 7 on the track. Let's bring you the So we're looking to go through, looking for a winning time of and I think is a scratch. She's struggling with a little bit of injury at the moment. Often you get that this time of year. Harry Reynolds, Lizzie Sanderson, Mohsin Javed, Tristan Johnson, John Hibble, and Tom Merritt-Webster as well. So quite a few OUAC, OUCCC athletes in here. Can a few of the others spoil the party? Well, we'll wait and see. And I believe we've got a couple of youngsters as well. Peter Irvine, 103, right on the inside there. Joe. So good young. If they could crack a 13 under 15s, they crack a 5-minute mile. They're in very, very good company. It's a good future. But the main thing is they enjoy their time. So off they go in a couple of times this afternoon as well. Straight to the front on this one. They're all trusting him, of course, as you'd expect, and it's the Radley man, Jonas Tipping, who's going to slot in behind, so local lad. Again, we'll know these parts very well, and Tristan Wood there, slotting into 3rd. He's in great form, is Tristan. I'm sure he's going to want to crack that 5-minute barrier, just like so many of these athletes. So already starting to see the race splinter up a little bit into a couple packs. So packs are saying you don't want to be those athletes isolated in the middle, if you like, but Yeah, so finally in behind Bundy, and you'll expect to see that throughout the afternoon here. As athletes gain a little bit more experience, they begin to trust the pacer. Also, the seeding gets a little bit easier because you've got a bit more background, a bit more. These athletes, some of the ones in the earlier races, well, this could well be their very first time competing over 1500 or competing over 72. So all swift. So we're inside 440 pace at this point in the race. So he just needs to settle things a little bit. No wonder it's just a bit broken up. John Hibble towards the back. He's doing a good job. He was through in 75 even himself. So they're right back of the field. They're operating around that 5-minute mark. But Jonas Tipping showing no signs of inexperience. The youngster, he's right on the shoulder, right in behind. We've got a great train up front at the moment. The Radley man, I think we've got a few other youngsters in there as well. Could well be, I mean, Dan Newman's a little bit further back, kind of stuck on his own. There he is, 142, the Shrewsbury man. Abingdon athlete Peter Irvine just going through a shot. That's John Hibble moving nicely. And 159, Lizzie Sanderson, Oxford City athlete. So let's identify a few more in this pack up front because we've got a great pack of 5. I think Bundy's going to get them to 1200 or so. Speaking to him before the event, he's going to treat today like, as an opportunity to get a good workout in, and just hanging on is Mohsin Javed at the moment. As I say that, kind of moves his way up, but it's the Wolverhampton and Bilsenden man, Sam Thursfield, 173. So we got 2 youngsters in this one looking to spoil the party. Very much their first time at this event. They're not showing it. They are well at home here running the mile. Often, of course, they would have competed over the 1500, these 2. Moving very well at the back straight. And we see youngsters is the form on them. I always look, have they got a smooth technique? Are they on their toes? Do they have a good arm action? And if they do, chances are they've got a bright future regardless of kind of how much they're training sport. So those 2 doing very well. Bundy sticking at his task up front. We'll get a good reflection on our predicted time as they come round for the bell lap as they approach that home shed. Of course, we've got the 1500 split here today. That is what the 2 officials you can see on the crown of the bend are doing with the white pole, if you like, sticking up in the camera. So all official stuff here. Athletes can benefit from not only a mile personal best, but hey, how about 2 for the price of 1? So we got 2 youngsters at the front. It's going to be Jonas Tipping and Sam Thursfield. These 2 guys, technically he's led the whole way. He's been in behind the pacer, and he does not want to give Thursfield any time at the front. He may regret that going into the wind. He's the slightly bigger of the 2. Maybe he's going to use the wind to his advantage, try and pull away from the lighter frame of Thursfield. But both of those are going to have a good ding-dong. The gap is very small at the moment. They just look to be turning the screw. Tristan Wood doing well. Back in 5th, he needs to stick at his task. Tris, can he break 5 with 4:10 on the...
Anyway, tell me, sorry mate, I'm just comms, I'm nothing to do with the launches.
Yeah,
All the time, man, yeah. Like this one's due to go up for 420. Okay, sorry, there you go. Alright, no worries, mate. Good. How did it go?
yeah.
Good?
It's so weird.
I think the hardest time is
Yeah. It depends on how you Well, I think it was fine for like 2 weeks. Up to...
Tristan!
I did it.
Brilliant! Well done! You did it! Brilliant!
It's Alex's fault. She was like,
Bid number 56, Aaron Burgess. Number 93, Josh Patton. Number 23, Mark Hunt. Number 52, Edward Booth. 101, Christopher Hutchinson. 192, Charlotte Buckley. 152, Joel Quinn. 118, Edward Land. 147, Neil Tilley. 214, Neil Wright. 66, Liam Crossman. 225, Nancy Foley. 82, Joel Frost. And 193, Conor McGurk. This race is being paced by Tom Wood. He'll be taking the athletes round in 71 seconds per lap. That should set the athletes up for a 4:45 mile.
Legendary Oxford University track, and where we saw the first sub 4 minute mile broken somewhat 69 years ago. Roger Bannister 359.4. I'm sure that's a stat we are all familiar with, but who have we got in this one? With Michael Tompkins. I do apologise. We are race 8 of 12. We're cracking along here. Aaron Burgess right on the inside, a man I know very well. Bit of a living legend around these parts in Oxford. It'll turn up at every local race there is, so great to see him here. Perhaps over the mile, a little bit under distance for him. So I'm sure he'll enjoy the pain and the suffering. Anyway, so Josh Hatt, Matt Pickles, Ed Bingham, Chris Hutchinson, Charlotte Buckley. Watch out for her, Oxford University shooter. Joel Quinn, Edward Land, Neil Pinnell, Peter Wright, Liam Crossman, Nancy Bowley, Joel Frost, Conor McGurk, and Yuri in here as well. So way to go, and they've got the trusted Tom Wood who's going to pace them. And he's going to do a great job, Tom. We've seen him a couple times this afternoon already. We'll see him a little bit later on, I have no doubt. And this one looking to be paced around about that 445, 440 mile pace. So I'll be interested to see what these ladies can do. They're in great shape. And I say ladies because you know, when they start running, it's great to see a few still in these latter races, if you like. So when they start running 440, 430 for the mile, that really is, well, 430 is kind of, you know, tinkering with world-class running over the mile. 440 is very, very good domestic running. So if they can stay with this pace and get dragged around to a fast time, not only can they run a good mile, we can look at that 1500 split as well, because we have got a 1500 split. They worked very, very hard, the meet directors and the organisers, the students here, to get that down, because you know, we were talking a little bit earlier on in the program how important it is, especially from a female perspective. They haven't quite got the history attached to the mile, and often it's quite hard to encourage them to do one when they'd probably rather do a 1500 because there's no real purpose, there's no motivation for them. So to offer that split is just brilliant. Jurka there in third place, looking very, very good at the moment. 52 is Ed Bingham up front as well. Joel Frost up front as well. He's slotted right in behind. So it's Frost and Jurka in first and second, if you like, or second and third if you include the pacer Tom Wood. And Charlotte Buckley perhaps finding herself in a position she doesn't really want to be. As I say that, it's the Abingdon man who overtakes Liam Crossman, who kind of overtakes, and she'll enjoy that. She'll welcome a little bit of shelter on that back straight. It is the windy section, but I do say that wind, dare I say, in fact, that wind is easing off a little bit throughout the afternoon here at Iffley Road. So 600 done. Nancy Bowley working hard as well, giving chase to those in front. She's going to measure this one quite calmly. A lot of these athletes would have done workouts and sessions, so they roughly know what pace they can look to hold here at Iffley Festival of Miles. So we're coming up to that 800 split. I said 440. That would obviously be a 220 at 800. I think we're going to be somewhere, it's going to be pretty much bang on. And Jurka, who ran this event last year, ran very, very well indeed. But Frost's looking smooth, 222. So we're bang on 445, which is actually the predicted pace. Charlotte Buckley needs to hang in there. Aaron Burgess alongside. She's got a great group. So we're just looking at her as our lead woman at the moment. Nancy Bowley coming through in 234. So she's right. These girls are right on the money for it. Well, definitely a sub 5 minute mile. Bowley's going to have to go some if she wants to break 5, but she's on for a 1500 PB nonetheless if she can kind of keep it rolling. Charlotte moving very, very well, and that chase pack, she's going to enjoy that. A bit of competition over this last lap. An 800 runner by trade, but never afraid to get stuck in over the longer distances, the cross country. And I think she is slowly taking to the 1500 and mile races. There you are, Twood cheering on his teammates. And Burgess on the outside as well. But Frost, and look, I know Jurka, he's a wily old racer. Is Jurka in second place. He's going to let Frost do all the work last minute, I have no doubt. But look, things starting to stretch out now as we come down home straight for the penultimate time. Frost, Jurka. It's at him in third place. Good running from him, looking very, very smooth at the moment. But Frost and Jurka, the bell, they're going to need to go some. Joel Quint, the Oxford University tri-man, in third as well. He's going to eat them up. I've seen him do a few great workouts recently. He's got some great speed in his legs, as Quinn. He's measured, and the way he trains, he gets faster and faster each rep throughout the session, and he's racing like he trains at the moment. Aaron Burgess leading Buckley round in that chase group as well. So we're going to have company over this last 200. Frost and Jurka are going to be joined by Joel Quinn, and I need to identify, I think it's Peter Wright as well in fourth. So this could be an interesting last 200. Keep an eye on the 59 posts at the crown of the bends. Off the top bend is in 30 or 40 meters or so. And there we go, and it's Peter Wright who's measured this to perfection. Frost is going to pull back round. He's going to come down the home straight all on his own. Wright and Frost, and Jurka's got to hang in there with Quinn. It's the triathlete. Oh, Wright's going to take it though. Well done to him. Frost, who did all the early running, unlucky. He's going to just miss out. Quinn, what a run. And those boys well inside 5, well inside 450. Buckley's going to be 453. Good running from her. She's going to be agonizingly close to a personal best over 1500 as well. We'll have to check that split. Nancy Bowley just outside with a good finish, just outside 5 minutes. Oh, ever so close. Maybe a 5:02 mile for her. So the two Oxford ladies, and that one doing a terrific job. Good effort out there. And I've just been signalled by the man before. A little 5-minute break into your next event. Like I said, race 9 is going to be off in just 5 minutes or so at 4:30. Joel, what a run, mate. Good finish. Enjoy it.
Yeah, tough work. Good man, how was that, man?
Emily Lowry, Charlie Cole, Robert Vaughan, Christopher Wilson, and Ben Fuller.
Well done, rest up, won't you? Yep. Okay. Ah, yeah, breezy, man. Lovely. Good luck. Oh, it looks. The elites look terrific. Yeah. No, he's going to ease as well. Well, welcome back in Heat 9 of the Iffley Festival of Miles. This is the open section. And, we've got a strong Abingdon AC contingent in this one. Perhaps a little inner teammate rivalry. We'll just run you through them. It's Eric Klakowski, Anna Donville, Alexander O'Neill, Jack Miller in here. Joshua Mully, not to be confused by the Bristol and West man and the ex-Oxford student Jack Miller. So Josh Mully, Sam Bayliss, Ollie Sherratt, Les Newell. Away they go, then I'll complete the lineup. Mark Ince, Emily Lowry was due to go in this one. She's a no-show though, so she won't be in this. The one female which was due to go, Charlie Coles, Rob Vaughan, Chris Wilson. And I think I can see Ben Fuller. Yes, I can. Sheffield man. And there are Matt Fuller as well. Triathlete by trade though, so one of the few times he's going to compete on the track in his career, Ben Fuller. So, close pack. Dan Bundy's gone off nice and swift to get to the front, of course. And in a previous race, 1 or 2 races ago, he was a little hot through that first lap. Let's see what we want for this first lap. We want around about 4. Oof, we're starting to hotten up here. 4:40 miles, 70 seconds. So 300 meters or so done. I'll make 52 around about 70. So Bundy bang on pace at the moment. He's got one man with him, and the rest of the field just filing him. You'd expect to see that we're nearing the pointy end of this Iffley Festival of Miles as well. I believe that's Alex O'Neill, Bundy, Les Newell as well, and 3 Abingdon athletes who will all know each other very, very well. Train just down the road from here, 10 or 15 minutes or so. Abingdon located. There they are in that yellow strip, just leaving O'Neill. So perhaps they want to close to stay in touch with him, really. But when Bundy drops out, the pacemaker, it's going to be tough for Newell. It's particularly breezy here at Iffley, especially for later on in the on his number. And the small figure as well. We've got another under 17 in here, Charlie Coles. He's looking very good. City of Salisbury athlete. He's going to bridge that gap to the 220 at 800 there then. So they're on pace for 440. They're going to have to wind it. They're going to feel like they're picking it up every lap now on the way home. Ben Fuller as well moving through the field, the Sheffield man. He knows how to close. He's got good turnover when he wants to. And I know, speaking with him before, chatting with him on Wednesday night, he wants to run around about that 440, 445 mark. So he's going to have to keep on. That these Abingdon athletes, there's 3 of them, they can all really work together and kind of squeeze and push this pace. But Les Newell, I said he was going to find it difficult up at the front on this 3rd lap. He's not at all. In fact, he's stretching away. He's pulling. Now, thank you for your time. But Newell, still with 500 metres or so to go, a lot can change, especially over the metric mark. On his teammates over this last lap or so. 3:31 at the bell. They're going to need a big last lap. Inside 69 seconds if they want to go 440. Ben Fuller looks to be just struggling to tie it up a little bit there. A little bit further back, but we're going to see, well, the Abingdon Club champs, the bragging rights between them. What can they do over this last 300? I don't think any of them are going to get any. Les Newell up at the front. Also Abingdon best. Is he 405, 404 at the 200 metre mark? He's on his own and 113 now, giving chase. Can he have a big finish on a domestic level? Anyone who's near 4 minutes over 1500 is a classy athlete. But look at this finish. Commentator's curse, as always. Eric Klakowski, what a run. 9 the clock, inside 440. I said they needed 69 last lap. Well, how about a 68? What a run from those boys. Cruel to Newell, but a huge finish from Klakowski. And that's race not. Will, go buddy. Good to have you back. Not sure about the club colours though.
I thought about wearing my Oxford vest, but I missed that.
Cheers, big boy. I'm completely freeballing now. Completely freeballing it. Yeah. You want to jump on it? Good? Looking forward to this? No? Did like hard, but rather than saying it's still back. It's in the front, but it's on the train. I'll keep it shady here. Good man. So which yeah, so yeah, so I didn't yeah, well, like open track. Open track, yeah. Really? Really? Get plane, get train, hop around. Lovely. What up, Clara? You alright? No?
I wasn't tired.
No, but like, if you have any sort of really just so pollinated.
So I'm a bit disappointed.
Well done for 6 hours. Well done for getting it done. Okay. So, you know, we're in a bit of a find a way out. Good. Enjoy the Go enjoy the afternoon. Okay? Good. Go enjoy the afternoon. Alright. Good. Thank you very much. Right. Yes, see you later, mate. Winnie. Yeah, they're great. Right, mate. I better get back. So who you down here with then? Hennigan. Are you down here with Hens?
Valley Boys as well.
Oh yeah. Who's running from them? I need to check them. Mate, he's a good thing. Yeah. I'll give Valley Boys a shout.
Right-handed turns up, I'm expecting good things.
A lot of it you need to actually get back.
Next up, we have race number 10, which is going
See you in a
to
bit,
go
buddy.
in 66 laps.
All right then, so just 2 minutes or so until race 10 is going to kick off. We've got three races left of the open mile before those 2 elite races. Goodness me, are we looking forward to them. We've got an absolutely stacked women's field and of course a stacked men's field. What more can we expect from this brilliant event, which is we now hope is going to be an annual event as well here at Oxford University. It's the home of one of the most historic events the world has ever seen, which is the sub 4 minute mile, deemed impossible. And on a day much like today, the fact it's blustery, it's breezy, but it kind of dips in and out, it's dropping, and we just hope by the time that elite race comes around, it drops enough that the athletes out here can run something special. But this is race 10, so we'll focus on this first. We've got Ross Hurst, 197 on the inside. He's wearing their St Mary's University colours is Ross. We got the Oxford City man Duncan Lawrence, Dougie Moffat next to him, Will Shardlow. What a man, ex-Oxford student himself, 164, Bristol and West. Now I did comment on his vest. Good to see him enjoying running beyond university as well though. And Matthew Marshall, Aaron Cooper-Brown, Ethan Murphy, Reece Doherty. Ethan McColgan is also in this one, 131. Look at him, the Oxford University student. Benji McCartney as well in this one. Matt Locke, Matt Kunoff, this guy, man. Goodness me, I could say some stories about him. A terrific trainer, may I say. Puts in some absolutely amazing workload. Just enjoys the sport. Matt Berrington, not in this one. He did race this event last year. Joe Kennelly, Sam Waite as well in this one. Also an Oxford student, and Ethan White. Bless him, he was on shift today, and you know what they said here, I'll tell you what, take your lunch break and you can go do your miles. So on his lunch break he's popped out and he's going to compete over a mile. So what better way to prep for a mile event than poolside. I believe he's just got his lifeguard qualifications, so congratulations to him. But look, nice and swift start. We got Tom Wood pacing this one out, and look, we are getting to the business end of this meet. 4:25 is the kind of time these gentlemen are looking for. They're looking for, around about a 1500 split of 4:01, 4:02. None of these men in this field have broken the 4 minute barrier, but boy, are some of them close. They're tinkering with that mark, and just like the 4 minute mile is a big deal, a little level below that is the 4 minute 1500, and it is deemed a bit of a barrier, especially here in the UK over the metric mile. But Tom Wood pacing it through 64.65. That is bang on from Tom Wood. Ross Hurst right on his heels. Benji McCartney looking good. Will Shardlow in there. Ethan McColgan. Kunov's in there. So all the names I mentioned before, all the big names, if you like, are up there. They're single file. These boys have slotted in, and they would have trained for this. Like I said, you come into this and you know kind of what you can hold. You would have done some 800s, some 600s, some 400s at this race pace. And look, the interesting thing is though, they can all do a lap or so, 2 laps even. But what happens on that third lap? What happens on that last lap in the mile? We often see it lull, don't we? But things looking smooth up at the front, and I think a lot of them just won't mind this. Tom Wood doing a great job pacing. We've seen him all afternoon. Got great crowds here, and one massive queue by the food and drink tent, that's for sure. So, well, getting beer down at a track event, hey, that really is the way to go. Mirroring that of the night of 10Ks, and we hope this event can grow over the years to a really special occasion, none other than the 70th anniversary of the sub 4 minute mile next year. Not only is it an Olympic year, it's Bannister's 70th anniversary. So 2:11, 2:12, so a little slow, 2:13, a little slow. I'm sure they won't mind that. They got after it early, and they're going to need to stay on to it. Benji McCarthy in there, Will Shardlow. Not much has changed, to be honest, in the race. You seeing that at home? You're getting the same pictures I'm getting. A little gap, though, between Hurst and the rest of the race, and it's fine now. He's got Wood in front of him, the pacemaker, but what happens after you know, Tour drops out. I believe he's going to get them to decay. And, well, anything near 240 is pretty good running for the K mark. So that would be on pace for a 425. It's just 242, 243, good. So we're just outside. A big last lap could bring these gentlemen close to that 420, 425 mark, and also close to a sub 4 1500. McCartney, and it's been no change on that chase back. And I think, you know, just as Ross Hurst is in a tough position, so is Benji McCartney. They're kind of almost starting to queue up behind him now as he's been isolated in that positional race. He's almost time trialed this at the moment. He's in great shape. He's been training very well, but I wonder if Chardlow, the Bristol and Westman, will go round him. But it looks like 124 is going to volunteer before that, Matthew Locke. But what are we at the bell? 320. They're going to need a big last lap. Oh, 65 or so will be a 425, but Matt Kunoff, watch out for him, the man in the cap, 116. He's going to have a big finish, we know that, and I'm sure his teammates, his OUCCC teammates, won't like the fact he's in front of them and he's pushing on. But Kunoff, I mean, he's some athlete. The work he puts in, you know, crazy mileage, 200-mile weeks Kunoff's put in. I believe that was just last week or so, and he still popped out a 20-mile run on Monday or Tuesday. But has he got the speed? Those are the questions. And credit to Hurst, who is just absolutely, you know, gun to tape led this one. I thought he was going to suffer over this last lap. Thought questions, but he's still out in front. And you know what? That gap is big. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to close in. What are they? 4-4 through the 1500 mark. So terrific running. Lots of PBs on deck for these gentlemen. But Hurst, coming down the home straight, he can enjoy it. He's got to stick to his task though. It is Dougie Moffat who's going to come through for second as well. 421. Well, there you go. Inside the 425. Kunoff, 4. Now Ethan McColgan coming through. Ethan White as well. 435 or so on the clock. A lot of those are hurting. Sam Waite coming through as well. Good running from him. And just wrapping up the field. Last man home, 139. Murphy, City of Norwich AC, congratulations to him. So what a run, some battle between teammates, between club mates, between fellow students, friends. There's not a sight quite like it than a race finish, I'll tell you that, especially after a mile. The next race is going to be due off at 4:50, so you've got 5 minutes or so, and you know, crack a can or even a cup of tea, and stick around because we've got 2 more open races before we head to those elite races later on this afternoon.
Boys, what up, Benji? Tough, man. Tough position to be in. You were front running that, you know. Obviously that gap was just.
Yeah, I struggled with that.
Yeah. Good though. We were 900 boys. We were. I mean, you definitely.
Find it to the last lap. Yeah, it's horrible. Actually, I was sort of like, it's pretty last lap. I was like, oh, 15 minutes.
Go, Jabbers. Yeah, right, better get back on the comps, boys. What you done, lad? Yeah, it's great to see you.
Athletes from race 11 lining up, so get ready to give them lots of force. Lots of dark blue vests in there.
Half marathon in there as well. 100 needs to get to the front early and kind of stretch things out. Doing exactly that is Bunjud. He's going to have a tough task ahead of him because we're looking for a race to be won in around about 4:15. So bang on 64s. Can we go through 208? Tom Bird straight to the front. The Ponty man, based in Cardiff, coached by James Thee. Great run himself, perhaps still looking to improve over the 1500 before he fully transitions to you know, the 5 and the 10K himself. As well, Cardiff Man, Valley Track Club, Simon Bossy over, actually a lecturer at Oxford University, staff at Oxford University. Coach is Jim Ingressier's coach, based in just outside Paris in France. He's got a great setup there. He's come over to Oxford just this year. He's had a great winter and he's just adapting to the way we do things in England. But enjoying himself, enjoying the racing scene. Night experience to Watford Open for the first time. Many of you who are watching will know what that is, and you'll know it's kind of one of a kind meetings. But you know, he's sitting in around about in fifth or sixth place at the moment. It looks like we've got Alex Mill-Ingram as well. Watch out for him. Bradley Mann rocking the purple vest. He's in fourth. You can't miss him. Tall figure. Very, very strong. 67-minute half marathon, dude. 2:22 over the marathon in London. So he's come off the back of London, and here he is over the mile, testing his speed, or perhaps shocking the system completely. I'll try and get some splits on you. We're going to come around for 800. And of course, if they're around about 2:08, we're on pace for a fast one, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of these gentlemen, if many of them have never broken 4 minutes for 1500, so if they can just hang in there and get in that 4-minute barrier for the 1500, they're on for a very, very good time. So of course 1600 in 9 meters, that mile split. So Dan Bunjud takes the do, 2:09, 2:10. That's about right. They'll enjoy that. They won't mind that too much. Naf's going to have to squeeze it up at the front. He's wearing the cap. Phenomenal cross-country runner, and he's actually just come down just for this event. He was up in Shropshire earlier on in the day, and he said to me, you know, should I run? He's had a few performances over the 5,000 which have been subpar for him, and he won't mind me saying that. And I think you know, the best thing for him to do was to get back out here on the track, even if I perhaps said, you know, maybe you need a few more weeks of training as his coach. But you know, he backed himself. He's got the confidence. He can decide that 4-minute pace. It's 2:44 for the case, so they've got to go something. They've got to start winding it up a little bit. These gentlemen, the Valley Boys Track Club. There's a good chase back as well in this one. Lots and lots of depth. We've got Robbie Rigby in there, Jarrett Martin, Callum Campion as well. So for the penultimate time, Moulton, Simon Bossy, the man I was telling you about, who's he's based in France. He's coached by Jim Ingressier's coach. The French athlete moving into second place. He's a wily old bracer, and it's these two. They train with each other every single Wednesday night. What can they do over this last lap? Don't count out Alex Mill-Ingram as well. Barrett and Jabbers giving chase to Tom Bird. Those boys need a big last lap. It's slightly blustery here at Iffley Road, and you'll feel the full effects of that wind on the back straight. But look at Mill-Ingram. He's showing the marathon strength, the half marathon strength. He's clearly done a little bit of speed work. He's adapted well. It's the two at the front who are grinding personal best. And look at Ingram go. I mean, he's got a younger brother who's a phenomenal talent. We know that based up at Loughborough University. But Emil Ingram, the senior from Radley, what a kick. He's bided his time very, very well. Moulton's got a stick at the time. 402, 403 at 1500. That's solid. Solid running for good performance nonetheless in these conditions. Look at the crowd getting trackside as well. Things starting to hot up here at the Iffley Festival of Miles. Emil Ingram, can he break 420, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, he can. 419.62. What a run. Nash 424 or so. And Barry just up. I got to keep track of officially and unofficially in training, of course. Jared Martin, good. It'd be great to have him guest down here. You're welcome anytime, Robbie. Now, there we go then. That was race 11 of 12 before those elite races come into you this afternoon. So again, you've got a little 5-minute window now where you can set yourself, prep yourself for this final open mile before we see the women's elite and the men's elite. Simon, good job, man. Jared. It was good to see you all racing. The important thing is you're fun, racing out there, right? Tough, windy conditions. Robbie, is it alright? Good man. Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Harry Darrell of Wolverhampton, Ben Alcott of Bedford, Joey Morrow of Oxford, former Oxford men's captain, and Matt Fuller of Hampshire Harriers, and actually late change to the pacing for this race. Angus Harrington of Cambridge is going to be scratching into some pacing.
Not as good as Wednesday, but I'm happy. I'm happy because I had to make all the moves between cars, so I was gutsy, which is what I've been last year. Hey, thanks for doing all this work. I appreciate it. No worries.
So Angus has come all the way from Cambridge to pace this race, and we somehow ended up with a Cowley club there. Switching of leaders, I see.
Tell Barrett if you want to come back with Bob to the elite. Come on down, yeah? I think you should be fine, yeah.
Okay, we are just moments away from the final open mile race here at the Iffley Festival of Miles. It's been a terrific meeting so far. After this one, we've got the elite races to come. But even this one, I know the meet organisers, incredible job the university's done putting on this event. fully run and organised by students. They've done a terrific job, but even they kind of had a bit of a headache seeding this one, because there's athletes in here who could well be worthy of going into that elite race when you look at them on paper and you look at their personal bests. So, but anyway, let's look at the lineup. Rich Slade, right on the inside. Adam Mead, fresh off personal best at Sports City last weekend. Always see Noah Lambert, Austin Apperson, Alex Howard, former Oxford man, former San Francisco man as well. And Jack Small, Janos Vranik, and away they go. Good. Angus Harrington, what better man to pace them than a 146 age 100 metre boy. He's a varsity 800 metre champion. Huge talent. Over 800 is Harrington. He's got a bright future in the event. Tall, rangy figure, perhaps this slow, but he's doing a good job controlling things early, because they're going to need that nice even pace out here today. And to complete the lineup, we've got Harry Darwin and also Matt Fuller, Hallamshire man and Oxford student as well. And I believe Alex Goodall should be in this one, and I think I can see Goodall in there as well, Steve. So we'll keep an eye on what they come through. And Tom Renshaw's in this one. How can I forget that man? Much more than that from Harrington. Going to be great for all, and it's the Cambridge man slotting in behind him in second place. They'll know each other. Things are picking up. They're 133 really at 600, which is pretty swift, because 136 would be 64s, and that would be 4 minutes and 1500. So they're well inside. You know, 406 mile in this race. So in behind teammate. He might be tempted to finish there, I say, but in second place, Austin Apperson coming over from the USA. I'm sure he didn't come over especially for this race, or perhaps he did. He's in. Rich Slade moving things up. Joe Morrow biding his time. Renshaw as well. He's got a nasty old kick as Tom Renshaw, the AFT man, ex-OU captain, but yeah. Okay, Killian Doherty leading. He's all on his own now, coming into the last, 500 or so. Especially when you're out front like this, you're fatiguing, and you're kind of in the wrong position. You're in the wrong place at the moment. You're going to need to run at 61, 62 if they want to get, near a personal best. Break that mark. So we're going to see Rich Slade moving up into third. Joe Morrow just kind of following him. Those two know each other very, very well, train alongside each other. Slade in the green, the Chiltern Harriers. You can't see him just out of shot at the moment. Apperson in second. Killian Doherty, what a run this is. He's gone into 200 metres to go. I said he's going to find that thing. Virtually still here at Iffley Road, which bodes very, very well for the races to come. But Killian just stretching out. He looks terrific. He perhaps lolled a little bit coming in, down the home straight for the penultimate time, but he was just saving himself. He knew he had to measure his effort a little bit. And Killian Doherty, Apperson's going to have a little bit of a battle. He's going to have to hold off the charging Morrow and Rich Slade. Oh, Killian Doherty, what a run. It's a masterclass from him. The Cambridge University, 4:12 on the clock. Well done. Joe Morrow, Rich Slade, 4:16. Well done to those boys. Going to be rewarded near enough a 1500 personal best in that one as well. Matt Fuller closing hard. Renshaw as well. Great running from all. Oh, and that closes out your open mile section. To the line, perhaps paying the price for that early speed. Getting after it early doors, but we have got, now we turn our attention to the business end of the Iffley Festival of Miles, the elites. The two elite races, all those elite races. So do stick around, go grab a cup of tea, grab a can, and we'll catch you in 5 or so minutes to introduce that women's elite field, and of course the men's elite field just after that.
send me the results. It depends when you kick. You kick around there. I really wasn't last time, but I can tell you that.
Crowd kind of flocking on the infield and on the outside. It's a bit of lane 3 beer and cheer gun here as well. Terrific atmosphere. It's just been building all afternoon, and that is a credit to the organisers here, the Oxford University students who have put this event on at this 4-minute mile. Next year, the big one perhaps, 70 years, 70th anniversary from that sub 4-minute mile. Bannister ran 3:59.4. Anyway, let's have a look at this elite field. We got Juliet Hodder in here, Iris Downs, Alex Shipley on your screen. There's Kasana Weir, Victoria Hiscock, Stephanie Tucker, Mia Waldman, St Mary's and Reading AC athlete, Rebecca Johnson, Emma Howsham, Georgia Bell, watch out for her, terrific junior in her time, multiple time English schools winner from the sport, kind of found her love for it, I guess, post-lockdown, you know, doing, triathlons and park runs and just longer distance races, and now she's kind of found her way back to the mile, which she's very, very good at when she wants to be. Almi herself, I wonder if he's in the stands here today, and Izzy Cotton right on the outside. Wolverhampton and Bilston athlete, and they've got Ella Fryer pacing. She's a 2 through around about 2:15, which is pretty sharp. That would obviously bring them home in a 4:30, and when really are in kind of, elite status almost when it comes to the mile, and that was too many years ago that 4:8 was getting you qualified for a world or Olympic Games. So away they go in a slightly smaller field than perhaps planned. I wonder who has recommended this this hot pace of 2:15. We're going to find out very, very shortly. Ella Fryer working her way to the front. Alex Shipley in here. Watch out for her. She's a huge talent, Oxford University student, medic. Slots in behind Georgia Bell. 4:21 PB down at Watford just a few days ago on Wednesday, so she's looking to crack 4:20, which would be inside 4:40 for the mile. So when you look at going through in 2:15, 2:16, someone who could perhaps handle that pace, but Ella Fryer there, bang on, about 35, very, very good pacing, and just look at them on the infield, all running across to cheer on their teammates. What a turnout we have here at the Iffley Festival Miles in his second year of running, and boy do we look forward to the future. We hope it's going to be an annual event. We've got to thank Sports Shoes here for sponsoring. Completely put on by university students, and that goes down to attracting elites to this event. I know many months ago they were reaching out to elites, they were sourcing the field, they wanted a good credible field to attract even faster people year on year on year, just like we've up. So a very swift, around about a 71 first lap, which perhaps is a little bit more reasonable, and these women won't mind that at all. And of course you can close, we saw 1500 yesterday, 62, 61, 61 and 59 or so were her splits, and just getting quicker and quicker over each lap, and that's what these ladies want to think about at the moment. They need to just keep that gap right. Okay, 1:46, so we're just outside 70-second pace. So we're in, at the moment, 4:21, 4:22, 1500 territory. I'll say the 1500 split. A lot of us, especially when it comes to elite females, are a little bit more familiar with 1500 split. They worked hard to get that here today. They know that perhaps the women don't quite have the same attachment to the mile. But credit to these ladies for coming out, and they're going to put on a show. Can Shipley win this one in front of a home crowd? St Mary's University student, Wirral AC. And on the shoulder of her, I believe that's Emily Moyes is in there. She's trying to bridge that gap as well. So on the third of the mile race, of the 1500 race as well, is the lap Bannister really had to focus on. He had to hold a 60 before bringing it home in a slightly quicker lap. So here we go then. Georgia Bell still in the front. There's been absolutely no changes. Shipley is running a very, very smart race. And I just hope she doesn't perhaps go too soon for the sake of her to try and win this one. When it comes to these mid-distance events, you've only got one move. Nick Willis said that. He said you've got one move when it comes to the 1500, and you got to use it wisely. That max out effort, when you go by someone, you really have to attack it and go. Shipley's going to be right on a personal best through 1500 if she can keep this going. I think 4:19's her PB, so she's going to need to attack this. And oh my goodness, what is going on right now? You've had Shipley on your shoulder the whole race, and are you biding your time? Are you controlling your effort? Are you measuring it? Or are you kind of waiting for her to come by, just holding her off as much as possible. But this is very strong running for Bell. She's squeezing it. She clearly saved something for the last lap. She knew this would happen. Questions would be asked, and now questions are being asked of Alexandra Shipley. She's got that kind of elastic band, almost just snap that gap, goes from 2 or 3 meters to, goodness me, 10, 15. So as Georgia Bell is going to bring home 4:21 at 1500. That's very, very strong. She wouldn't have been there. But the Iffley Festival Miles, great to have her in town. 4:39.69, unofficially on the clock. Shipley's run 4:45. Great effort from her. Tucker in third as well, the athlete from Aberdare, massive PB, and they stream across the line, all of them. Goodness me, how many people can we get sub 5? Mia Walburn just going to sneak 5 minutes as well. 4:57, great running from her. The ready. That was tough, especially. Brilliant, and of course, Georgia Bell taking home that £150 prize money. So, over to the men to crown off Festival of Miles, and boy, do we have a field. In fact, it's huge. It's enormous. 25 or so athletes in this one, providing they're all there on the start line about to turn up. And, you know, there were question marks. Do we put a few of them in the slower race? But I don't think that appealed. You know, there's nothing better than a stacked race out there in a mile. They do separate themselves. And I've just seen Jeremy Dempsey just walk past the camera there. He's going to go do some of his final strides. Look very, very impressive at the varsity match. He's a huge talent over the 1500, that man. Obviously, Cambridge University student as well. Got ever so close to that varsity record. But here we are, look at the replay then. We just look and we see how that final 100 meters, 120 meters or so panned out, and there was just no question on who the winner was going to be in this one. Bell looked very, very smooth down the home straight. The crowd, they're a knowledgeable crowd here. Don't get that wrong. They know what they're witnessing. Very, very impressive stuff. She's going to enjoy that, and that'll be a moment which perhaps inspires her to kind of commit to the track over the next few years as well.
That was the women's elite race, and next up at 5:30 we've got the Roger Bannister men's march, the final event of the race. Blue ribbon dance.
Mate, do you want to sit with this?
I'll take you through the lineup of the
You mate, get out there and
So
sit.
we've got
That's
James
fine, yeah.
Horsham, who was 6th at the Box Outdoor Championships in the 5K, representing Lancaster Uni. We've got Mark Reversey of Tonbridge and Oxford.
So the final race of the day off at 5:30. So you've got 9 minutes or so until that race is about to go down. Make yourself comfortable, I will just tell you. 57 through 800, so they mean business. They are going after that mark. We haven't seen a sub 4-minute mile on this track since 2004. That was Craig Mottram, 3:56.64. He ran somewhat 19 years ago or so. So there we are. There's your men's start list. We've got Jeremy Dempsey, Seb Anthony, Isaac Chandler, Hennigan in there. Oh, he's pretty much undefeated this year. Is Hennigan. James McRae, his training partner, Tyler Billiard, Cameron Bell, Alfie Manthorpe. I haven't seen Alfie Manthorpe. It'd be great to see him here today. Josh Trigwell. Matt Snowden from Ipswich, the Ipswich area, St Mary's University student, or ex-St Mary's University student. He's got a great personal best to his name. Freddie Carcass, Alex Malloy, Simon Coppard. Watch out for him, because his older brother, very, very strong indeed, had a great run earlier on previously in that race, but he's just an under 20 as Mil Ingram. He's gone off to Loughborough for the mile today. There you are, you can see, and actually on screen at the moment, there's the women's results. Georgia Bell, 4:39.71. Shipley in second. Strong performance from her. Just fell apart perhaps a little bit over that last 200. A heavy racing period. Of course, an Oxford student, so that's all round, and most importantly, I hope these women enjoyed their time out there, because we want them back. We want that women's elite mile to really grow, and of course we're going to get so the event winners here of these elite races are going to sign their number, and it's going to go up in a trophy cabinet, if you like, alongside, you know, the Robilla, alongside his Spike's honorary place here, placed at Iffley Road. Very looking to build a bit of history around this event. It's not an event which is just here this, you know, last year, this year. You look at it, build on it year on year on year until it really becomes the magic that we've seen. And there's a few events. One reason Night of 10,000 is so successful is the location. 10 years ago that Bannister ran, and there's no track in the world which can say that. And I think that's how you can build history around events like this year on year on year. And they've got to do that, they've got to capitalize on that. So I'm very excited to see where this event can go. It's completely student run. The students put it on themselves. They do a terrific job. And one area they do very, very well is recruiting top elite talent. And that is what we're going to see in this next race. Like I said, don't forget in there as well. Personal best of 4:02. Josh Carr, the 3:58 man over the mile. Seb Anthony, 3:59. James Hennigan's a 3:59 man over the mile. So just 3 or so athletes in this field have broken 4. The rest of them, oh, that mark just eludes them, but that doesn't to say they're not. It's not to say they're not capable of getting that mark. They truly are, and they wouldn't be in this elite field if they weren't. So it's going to be interesting to see whose day it is basically out here. The wind has virtually dropped. This is amazing. Straight, you know, get in their location. They want their spot, and in my opinion, that's where you really need the support on the back straight on that last lap. Perhaps it's where the coaches are located. But there's the images here at Iffley Road. Wonderful images, wonderful day, very, very sunny. Very few clouds in the sky. Georgia Bell swept up the women's race with a 4:39 victory. And we got food, of course, drink, where the students tent, and it has just added to the atmosphere completely. The good vibes here at Iffley Road. This men's elite road at 5:50 and 54. That's what we ask ourselves. And I know one man, I've got to mention him, Miles Witherspoon, Oxford University student. He's been here several years. He's supporting this event. He's one of the in the diary for a while. He's wanted to peak, and what better way to sign off your career as an Oxford University student is due to grain to crack that 4-minute barrier. Here we go then. Here we go as they make their way down the home straight. And look out for Andrew Milligan. Although he's a 4:02 man, he's a very, very fast 1,500 meter runner. That's a nervous walk. He's a 3:42 1,500 man is Milligan, as I was just saying, but it's a nervous walk they got to do there. Athlete you want to break out into a stride, but yes, they mean business. And I was talking about Miles Witherspoon. He's on the inside, wearing the #1 bib. No pressure at all. There he is in the bright yellow stocks as well. A few bright yellow spikes out there, easy to spot. But look out for number 11 in the Say Sky uniform. That is James Hennigan. He's in fine form, and in fact, he's already raced Dempsey a couple times this year. He beat Dempsey up in Loughborough, and that was over a mile on that race in. And Dempsey needed that though. He had a few time trial attempts, time trial efforts, and they take it out of you, not just physically, but mentally. And away they go in here. Iffley, Festival of Miles. I forgot to mention we've got Ben Claridge pacing a 1:47 800 meter man, a local lad. They're in capable hands. And look, as I said, James Hennigan go into that second spot, and that's something I didn't think would happen today. I was speaking to a few people before, and they said, you know what, I think Hennigan's just here to that, you know, but you know, he has slotted in a second, and perhaps reluctantly, because that gap is what, 2-3. That is second. They're all kind of lining up. Then a little kind of cluster of them to back there, but they've just whizzed round that first lap as these gentlemen. They really do, and yes, it is. Billiard is second. Oh, what were we through? 59.60. So pacing's bang on, and in fact, you know, you do just want to be kind of mid-pack, a little quicker and quicker each lap. These gentlemen want to do the same. Hennigan, oh, we won't be enjoying that. This is, you know, questions are going to be asked. He's found himself, which is not popular when you're a mile runner, unless your name's Jakob Ingebrigtsen. He's probably the only one in the world who's comfortable in that position at the head of the race when you're moving quick as well. He's the only one who seems to be able to gauge his effort. But and they've come here to break that barrier, and I guess they don't care so much about the win on the line. 150 pounds for the winner here at the Iffley Festival Miles, and it is Dempsey who just looks like he's itchy. This may well be perfect pacing to break 4 minutes, because you don't want to go 157. When I saw 157 on the event program, I thought that looks a little bit hot for these gentlemen. Yes, we can see it burn up. These boys can run a 55, 56 first lap, and I knew Dempsey would get antsy. It's something he hasn't done yet. He's going to want to do with a seed. Where is he? Is he still hanging tough in there? He is. There's a pack of them. Oh my God, this is a race, people. It's not just a time trial, and this is what we love. Sometimes the paces can affect the outcome. I don't think they have today. We're going to see one. Yard, Hennigan, Milligan, and then are we just starting to see a little gap? Is that James McRae in there in the red? Miles Willisseed's going to start to bridge that gap. He's going to want to get onto the back of these boys. He's got huge ambition to break 4 on this track in his final year at the university. Jeremy Dempsey did with 3:01, with 3:02. Oh, they're going to, with 3:05 in fact. It's slowed a lot more. The clock on your screen is a little off. Josh Chigwell in there, your English champion last year over 1500. They're going to have to really go on, and they haven't managed. It took Mottram to do it 19 years ago. And so where are we? 200 to go, 150 to go. Dempsey, Billiard's been there all race. What a canny race. Can Dempsey hold him off? Has he held anything back? Free track, James Hennigan coming with a late kick. He's been winning all season as Hennigan, but Billiard's going to take it. Oh, 4:03.00. I knew they'd be up against it to perhaps break 4. What a hell of a race. And in my eyes, as a track fan, that is far, far more encouraging. Thank you very much for a terrific year. Not only is it Olympic year, it's the 70th anniversary of the sub 4 mile, or the first sub 4 mile ever by Roger Bannister. And if you've liked what you've seen, enter next year, or even better, down here as a spectator. You've seen the magic here at Iffley Road, and we're going to deliver 1 year. Thank you very much. And just the elite field, they got out there, they contacted people. Let's just watch this last 150. I do apologize, me rambling, but Dempsey here, it was going to close that out when he put himself to the front of the race. Too much to do. I think Hennigan was perhaps just happy just to put another scalp against Dempsey in that one. But there you go, across the line. Great running from all. But, thank you very much for tuning in. The presentations are going to follow. I'm your commentator today, Matt Seddon. I was joined earlier in the program by Tom Barrett, and he's a student and meet director here as well.
Has been going on for weeks, so thank you very much to everyone, and for all the spectators for all the support today. The 70th anniversary of the sub 4 minutes. Okay, great. And if the top 3 completed and podium finishers.
bringing it over the Iffley Festival Miles. Great to have her in town. 4:39.69 unofficially on the clock. Shipley's run 4:45. Great effort from her. Take running from her, the reigning AC athlete. So credit to all those ladies. That was tough, especially a little bit further down the field. They didn't have a pacemaker. Very, very tough running. £50 prize money. Winning today, it's about taking the bridesmaids, spoiling the party on his rivalry track. James Hennigan coming with a late kick. He's been winning all season as Hennigan. We've got Bill Yards going 3:00. I knew they'd be up against it to perhaps break 4. What a run. 4:10 for Winner Seed. Trickwell's in there, Ewan Pierce, Snowden, all. And in my eyes, as a track fan, that is far, far more encouraging.